Whoa.
It looks like it's going behind the mesa.
The reality of the phenomenon has become even more compelling.
There's something in the sky above the rocket. We may be looking at the anomaly for the first time.
Nope, got the chute coming down fast.
Eric, are you doing something at 1.6?
I'm not broadcasting.
A signal? 1.60000. Want to try and listen to it?
Yeah.
It's chirping in frequency. That's a communication signal or something. From my experience as a rocket scientist, this sound frequency was like the kind of communication signal you would get from a satellite orbiting the Earth or even farther out in space.
I'm looking through some footage. I've got something here that doesn't fit in.
What on earth is that? You can even see the trail behind it, and let it watch it go. It leaves a trail behind it as it goes. Or stop. There's a black line through the center of this thing. In one night, one span there, we see a strange communication beam. And then we see this thing. And interestingly enough, at the same instant, we see this signal at 1.6 gigahertz. It was pretty bizarre. You've captured a UAP on camera here, Eric, and we don't know what it is.
I wonder what that black stuff is. What is that? Look at that.
Oh my,
It's brittle.
this is really thin.
Well, look at that.
So this is telling me on this first reading on this side, we're looking at calcium, iron, silicon, aluminum, magnesium. Let's take a look at this other side.
That number is much different.
Yeah, this side of this thing is showing up at almost 72% iron.
That was quite the noise that was just making.
Yeah, I'm up against something pretty hard right now.
He's hitting some kind of a hard layer that he describes as perhaps a dome inside the mesa. There's no good reason for that as far as we're aware.
There we go.
I say we bag this up.
The next day, Eric received a report from the Material Science and Engineering Department at the University of Utah about the metal the guys drilled out of the mesa. On one side of the material, there's tellurium. And on the other side of the material, there's europium. Tellurium is a semiconductor material that is used in solar panels. The europium, under certain circumstances, is a superconductor. Tellurium is the second most rare element on the planet. Same goes for europium. Both of those materials are used in developing modern quantum computer systems.
So it sounds like we're looking at a structured material.
How else do you get one of the elements only on one side and one of the elements only on the other side? I have read some speculative scientific papers that suggest that if you took layers of semiconductors, conductors, and superconductors, and you put these in multiple layers, you could actually create a region that might manipulate the space-time metric, meaning it might bend space and time. Ranch manager Jim Morse and Navajo Ranger John Dover brought out a group of drummers from an indigenous musical organization known as Blazing Bear. Our plan tonight is to have Blazing Bear perform a series of ceremonial songs in front of the mesa where the serpent petroglyph is located, which is also just below where the spiral of boulders sets up on top of the ridge. Meanwhile, as the sound waves bounce off the rock walls and encompass the entire east field, video expert David Mason will be using thermal imaging cameras to look for temperature changes or other visual anomalies that might appear during the ceremony. Okay, let's go. Right there. Yep. Well, when they started singing, the temperature literally changed. Eric, the stone circle is where it's heating up on top of the mesa.
Are you kidding me?
And according to the traditions of the ancient indigenous nations here, that formation was built hundreds of years ago to represent an interdimensional portal. Right as the drumming stopped, the anomaly started to cool off. But as Eric pointed out, while the drummers were playing, their sounds reached the frequency of 192 hertz. That's the same frequency Eric played the other night when we saw the UAP from the exact same spot.
This interval really caught my attention. Watch what happens.
So they just start playing, it looks like.
So we've got the ridge line fairly well defined, and now look at this.
There, whoa,
There it is. Go back, go back.
What is that?
To me, it looks like it's going behind the mesa.
Right at the spiral of boulders that are meant to depict an interdimensional portal. Something seems to be interacting with stuff over the triangle, but from almost the ground up to 5,000 feet or more. For tonight's experiment, Burdette Anderson will be recording with his high-speed cameras, and technologist David Mason will also be filming the experiment with his high-resolution thermal FLIR cameras if anything affects the shape of the flames.
That's 31 feet.
Wow. Whoa. Wow.
I have something that might look a little strange.
So, there's clearly some empty spots.
It seems to be going around it.
Something at the 31-foot level literally split the flame from Nathan's device in two.
And I have some high-speed footage.
Now that's interesting how you get in this separation. What's pushing the flame downwards? Hey, back up, back up, back up. What is that? Right here, look. Right there, I think you see one, it kind of appears, and it's not connected to the flame. Look, it's below the flame. Oh, there it is. There it is in this. Look, right here. Yep.
Now it's gone.
It's gone. We recorded evidence of a white orb-like UAP right where the flames that we shot into the 31-foot high blob zone were split in two.
There's something physical going on there.
Absolutely. Where were they coming from, and then where did they go? Was this more evidence that supports the legends about portals on the ranch we've heard for years? Oh, yeah! Wait, Thomas, look, right there, right above the horizon.
It's moving south quickly.
It just switched off like a switch. We still got a lot of rockets to launch here.
We're getting a lot of static interference on the radios.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen noise like this before.
Really?
It's broad spectrum.
Oh, what the hell?
What do you got?
Just something went by. It looked like small orbs. There's another one.
At the same time, we're seeing these elevated levels of RF noise. He's only seeing them in this night vision technology.
Here's one, right underneath us.
I don't know whether to be terrified or excited.
Brandon, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've got this clenched feeling in my chest.
I feel exactly the same. Pressing. Yeah, that's a good description of it.
Yeah, let's take it down.
Cameron made the right call. I say we close up shop and then start looking through the data.
This is a camera on the exterior of the helicopter just above the mesa.
Went behind the mesa.
It appears as if there's a corresponding light and illuminated area, what I interpret to be directly below this thing.
You know where that is? It's right by the petroglyph.
It looks just like what I was seeing in my night vision at high altitude.
It came right out of the mesa.
You realize that we're talking about objects looking like they're flying into the actual stone of the mesa and then appearing and coming back out.
I have to think this is going on more than we have suspected to this point.
Absolutely. It's awful lucky for us to fly once and see this, right?
Yeah.
Awfully lucky. Yeah. We welcome Burdette Anderson. He specializes in a high-speed camera system. Our plan was to launch rockets up through the triangle where we've seen numerous UAPs and detected what we believe to be some kind of anomaly between 300 and 5,000 feet.
Okay, it's on? Yeah.
While Burdette photographed each launch at 1,000 frames per second.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, did you see that? It turned before it could get to wherever the anomaly is. I noticed that in mid-air, it suddenly veered a little off course, like it ran into something invisible that deflected it.
Hey, we got a light there that's moving.
Where? Yeah, we got it. There it is, right there. No, Eric, we got something moving right overhead of us right now. Did it look like it just sped up to y'all?
Yes, it did.
I've got eyes on the ADS-B map. There's nothing over us. There's nothing near us.
It's still going. Look at it. It just vanished. One more sparky rocket. Oh, we got a malfunction. Everybody watch out.
Oh! Oh! Oh, it's on fire!
We got a fire! We got a fire!
We caught the malfunction on the high speed.
Oh, there's something in the sky
right
above
there.
the rocket, right here.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the light. No, no way.
We're maybe looking at the anomaly for the first time, guys.
That's crazy.
After 4 years of investigating Skinwalker Ranch as a team, we finally got good visual evidence Burdett Anderson captured some kind of blob-like feature on his high-speed camera that literally appeared out of nowhere and caused the rocket to explode.
This isn't an anomaly in the lens because it didn't move.
You can't make it up.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh! We couldn't wait to review the high-speed camera footage. It's clearly becoming illuminated or something, and it's growing in size, and it looks like an object right there.
But there's something else going on, I think.
Yep, right as the rocket gets there. Boom! Could this blob-like thing that appeared just 31 feet high be the anomaly that we've been trying to pinpoint at the triangle for the last 4 years? If so, then what the heck could it be?
This is a three-dimensional model. It's point cloud data, individual points that have been located through a complex algorithm. Turns out there are some very interesting artifacts showing up.
Whoa.
You might...
I just saw
Did you
one.
see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the sky.
Oh.
Right there.
Yes.
Oh, weird.
Yes.
Well, what would cause it to do that if that's up in the air?
That's the question. Look at this structure, this phantom structure that's sticking up in the sky.
What's so strange here is, if the GPS was being spoofed for the whole survey, the final photogrammetry image would be a big blur. This one specific spot over the ranch is confusing the photogrammetry data and confusing it from a number of different angles.
I want to show you something at another location that we've visited.
This is right above the petroglyph area.
Just on the edge of our property.
And you'll recognize the stone circle here.
Yep.
Oh, there
See
you
what's
go.
happening? There you go.
Right there.
So let me spin us around here.
Wow, now look at this.
And you may observe the same thing I
Yeah,
have.
so line those two up, and where are they pointing? You have 3 points in a line.
Wow.
What are the odds of that?
Right.
We've got a line being drawn here. Then what is that line pointing to?
You remember last year when we had that expert out, he said that the petroglyph was depicting a portal. That pillar's alignment with it kind of looks like, in the data points, a spiraling thing, a portal-type feature.
Could it have actually captured visual evidence that there really are portals on Skinwalker Ranch? And could it help explain why we see UAPs appear and then suddenly disappear?
Thanks for coming.
These guys specialize in data collection using all kinds of high-tech equipment on projects for the Department of Defense, NASA, and other sensitive government programs. As the International Space Station orbits the planet, it constantly sends a strong radio signal back down to Earth. So we're going to use high-powered antennas to lock onto that signal and track it through the anomalous zone as the space station passes over the ranch this afternoon. Meanwhile, Jim Royston is going to be flying an advanced drone-based LiDAR device. If something strange breaks our connection with the space station signal, we're hoping that the LiDAR will be able to see it and help us identify just what in the heck it is. Oh, any second now.
Oh, there it is. Tracking the space station now.
It's got it locked on?
Yep. Okay, so we just lost the space station.
Oh. What just happened?
Just crashed.
Right when the ISS was over the triangle.
Travis, we got something strong.
You have
Well-
something? What frequency?
1.6510.
No kidding.
Really?
Straight up, and it's strong.
But it's a constant signal.
That's the signal we've been detecting above the triangle for the past 4 years.
Oh, there it is. That's the space station right there. Yeah, it's starting to show up stronger and stronger right there.
seeing it.
Now that it's past us, we picked it up again, and it's stronger now.
When Jim said the LiDAR device was finally operational, I immediately wanted to launch a rocket up through the triangle while he scanned the anomalous zone.
show you. I thought we would see just a tight little line going up as the rocket. It dispersed all the points out really wide.
According to the LiDAR, it passed right through something that dispersed and split the LiDAR beam into multiple wave-like patterns. At about 30 feet high, it penetrated an invisible object that caused the LiDAR data to ripple like waves of water.
This is what we saw.
Oh, what are we looking at?
What is that spot?
Okay, what would cause this void?
Of all the data we've collected above the triangle, Omnitech's LiDAR identified the clearest evidence yet of something strange right at the 31-foot level where we saw the blob earlier this year.
In this area, you know, it's pretty dense. So you go from like really dense scan to nothing. Wow. It's like it absorbed the LiDAR lasers. Whoa.
Look at that.
What is this whole
You
area?
got a perfect circle around it in high reflectivity. But the black just made no sense. It was like an open void. That's the most amazing thing I've ever seen out here.
I'm picturing an approximately cylindrical zone that flares out at the top.
I'm picturing two funnels stuck together. So you know what that is, guys? That is a traversable Lorentzian wormhole. That is exactly what scientists have theorized a traversable Lorentzian wormhole or a portal to another place in the universe would look like. This could account for everything that's happened at the triangle.